I'm call lawyer. No, I'm call lawyer. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
My painty picture, no, like Picasso.
We'll look at it. I'll come back to you. Cornucopia, you're big. I will come back. Permissive. Cornucopianism. We'll come back to that. Lawyer ni Samuel Poado is here. Council Memo Aquaba. Nambom to say. It's a program. Oh, so yeah, I feel.
You are already say survive it. The one no rush. O producer do ya deal to be your magic now. Now I chew up.
So yeah, na at you for near former pressure. Say you say lawyer and catch it. The ben a lawyer beba. The bassa was here the pressure no. Na no for a while, na no for us own na buy actually there was a okay. Mama call lawyer on this issue. Lawyer Henry, share this there are two key associations, the banks and then the insurers. Now one summer na work and the so was a domestic debt exchange program. We say it says communicate with Babon since if they were no near buying and young kita would you say or be participate. Good news.
Oh, you bet you telephone now. A privilege. It's a opportunity na any wedding come. And we should never take that privilege for granted. The better more producers and so no so as I say, Mama, when say any man for Becassa. I said, I want to say, Brother Becassa say, one share with cheap, and share the cause of your issues are. You don't seem to learn anything, and you just keep moving on. An unexamined life, Brother Becca, is not worth living. And whatever it is, no. Even though we don't want to, problem, no, because we already have a problem and we want to solutions, no. Say you to me addresses some of the fundamental issues and you do, maybe I do. And unfortunately, you can't take out the financial or economic management team from where we are. What you say, and more especially, your finance minister. It is difficult to say, who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame, who will blame Minister of Agric? And that's the Minister of Defense. And no, it's not possible. The person who drives, Dipana or Di Abai Sika Eshishe Enimno, Finance Minister. I don't want to bring in the Vice President because I'm not head of economic management team. But you can't Nipa, who is in charge of your economy now. It is the finance minister. Oshem Remukra or no, and I am certain powers. Yam first power is not my vice president. Oshem the minister responsible. I can't just say the minister of finance. Oshem key financial acts now. The minister of finance. Or no signing warrant. What I say in respect of financial decisions. What has become the problem? The number one, and nobody can dispute it, say, the number one problem you face here, say, Yakobo Busia abroso. Obia we Busia body, and just say, oh, you're buying, in fact, you're breaking it down, a buying piano, Sika, Unya, Eddie, a Putojuma, 2 or 3 principal sources. One casa with taxes, Bofubeka. How do you say it? Tax you can't say tax is a tour. Would free amount for her. Number 2, Bofubeka Busia Obo Busiano Ubetumia Bobi city local way Ubetumia outside so Akobo. Any 3 Bofubeka grants Achedie Unya fee other countries honum and none of the untia NC home, a bill cry free. What you say? Now, the other countries are developing it most of the time. Taxes are citizens. yeah, try with integration of Ghana card anyway. No, it better take your time. You can't do it overnight because a lot of investment to be able to get all your citizens on board to be able to pay those taxes. And at the same time, also, you hear development, capital intensive development, roads, schools, hospitals. Side your money in a sikasem. It you have this high responsibility in the mouth say, oh now baba share ye sikaswa. Sabe yenka say. Or your private businessman or bank government. What to make say on the private business in and the private business in Nangu. No. But say abino ubefa abino mu anabeba abino mu na waye ya. She yensi can so nyoman so ye. A hot finance minister no problem. And some of the red flags no among for started so mu raisy and yet borrowing no. And what we were borrowing the money for Babaka Sikana ye jino and any they are very critical. Some of the things are imaginative kaka. And number one, how to improve our tax base. E-levy say should have been one of the first things that would have come when the government came into power. Honestly speaking, because you need you know say oh yes for massive infrastructure development. 110 hospitals you just scan away. And it is actually cheaper to get government to borrow from in the city, than to go outside and borrow. Oh, it is increasing domestic revenue, then you can match because country be a big countries in normal borrow, but it is your ability to pay. So to be service so data, only problem. Over to look, most businesses run on debt, i.e. loans. But you want to say Kessben entire running expenditure 5 million. Now to me generate 10 million. Mo yi mo ankasa mo koto ko musika o boss yin ni koto ko musika so running company no. Or the company be kwa kosi how my bank no will be more than ready to give you the loan because income amu benya no interest amu try also very small. So one of the things are me feel say you're lucky or we have not done right in our economic management innovative ways of raising revenue. Some of which include this time a tolly no I so advanced say the idea no bow car road na oh if the government obia one philosophy I just say this particular finance minister felt say the cheapest form of borrowing was to go to Brofubeka Euro market, because Otumi borrow at a certain rate, which was quite favorable. Oh yes, Theo, yeah, let us not be ideally, you shouldn't be conflicted in such a matter as a Brofubeka convention says, and yes, put yourself in a position where you're conflicted, say. Or companies, anyway, no, fine, you can criticize that. But if you declare conflict of interest, say, who declare a conflict now, I say you can, and you approve no parliament, it's both sides. NDC people approve no. So that argument goes out of the window. But my point is, what were the checks and balances? What was he doing? Theo, if he had been able to generate enough revenue for this country to have had a buffer against COVID, any sign your manner, nobody will be complaining today. The major failure is his inability to balance our books in such a way, say we literally have to declare bankruptcy, and yet you leave us with no choice but to grade you, and we will grade you as having failed. And so Nankasani Crawford, it was no surprise that Nankasani Crawford came after him because the government, the president, had the responsibility national, sir. All the trust, and you are not able to deliver to the point where Ghana had to declare bankruptcy. We cannot call you an excellent student. We will have to call you a failure. Because in the history of Fourth Republic, no finance minister or no government has taken us to the point that Ghana ain't to into any loans. And so you do such a situation now. How do we come together to come out of that situation? Well, the dangerous thing that I was a problem you want to say. Okay, 80s now. Among for soldier for Bambaya, you seizes in Crawford, Nyoma, and businesses, no. It literally took a whole generation to change the thing. Say, well, to me, a local person saw by investing in this. All our top businessmen left the country and went outside Buy and sell became what we had because there was no industry. It took a whole generation. Your nightlife there, I say, people don't even believe, say, not Ghana, there were factories that were working at night, but because of coup, any carefree still went, it destroyed that industry. Ghana, in fact, Uber Finance, you say there idea over to me who do investment, over to me an investment or papa we are number one company that egu obi to me koto some private company egu, but the number one place unim Saudi usika kwasha government securities. What I say? Government securities. It is non-negotiable. They're there. Odi usika be kwasha government securities because even amount low interest rate cry unim so usika is secured. And then they be call around and say, "We will sika kakra share Nigerian bank, but they be sika kakra wo Ghana commercial bank because we say get there Ghana commercial bank and go down, and now sika kakra wo SIC." Now for the first time, Obeko Bank our treasury bill, they be just go better force rollover, and I say you cannot guarantee say the government can be able to pay you your way, especially for external debt. The way dangerous. You're dangerous. The finance minister needs to work together with both sides of the political divide. Oh, one question maybe sir Debiane said, President, your term of office will end in 2024. IMF deal now goes beyond 2024. So I have asked myself, why can we not have a national economic dialogue involving NDC, MPP, PPP, all the major political parties, and come together, building your homegrown policies. We are in a ditch, no two ways about it. And you can't also say there is not a global crisis. There's a global crisis. Even America is facing the danger of not being able to meet its debt obligations. But everybody has to cut his coat according to his size. We know our problem. You need a problem. You identify a problem. Minya has eloquently put out the problem. What is the solution? The solution cannot be in the mind of one person. The solution cannot be in the mind of one political party because you are committing Ghana to an IMF program that is going to go on beyond 2024. And you don't have a guarantee say you are going to win the election. But we have to depoliticize the economic issues. No? Now I'm back to the conclusion say when it comes to the economy, we are actually in the 80s, so we need an economic recovery program. What I say, which will build confidence. So without coming together, no, it is impossible for us to have a national solution. Sa sisia mishawe kakra no, it's part of our confusion because amafoso ajiata so say sebi omusika na every month na wayi kakra dia to obi pension fund obi way kakra wa bo anu a oba retirement omo ye mobokra ne retirees no. And as obi aye yi na di a your man send off kakra or they got to sa government and his security here. Now you say he can't have access to it, no? Bro. And it's actually a national security threat. Because at one point, something million people and government no is running down on the clock. Because very soon, no, it may be impossible for them to make certain payments. We are getting to that point. It's also when by 31st, they should be able to deal that particular debt exchange program. No, come to the agreements, bring down the debt ratio, and then access the IMF window. But what are we doing together as a people? And then let me question, no? Because who accesses our fund, no? And we don't have unity in terms of the way forward. We will go back to the same problem.
Okay.
So we need to come together.
Build national consensus.
055